Hello, guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Skills and Abilities. Today, we're going to be going over the first of the new demonic summons, which is the Summon Goatman. The Summon Goatman has some interesting effects going on. There's definitely a lot to go over here with him. First off, he has right at the top of the panel there 5% chance of crushing blow, which is pretty amazing. He also has a synergy with Deathmark, which increases his crushing blow percent up to a maximum of 25%, which means he can get an amazing 25% CB. You can also get a really large number of these demons. You can get 3 of them at any given time, which is pretty darn cool. So if you want to get multiple Goatmans, you can, of course, have your own little army, and they can run around murdering everything for you. You'll also notice that as they use their abilities, they have the Frenzy Swirl about them. It's very clear that that is the Frenzy Swirl, and as we know from Frenzy is an increase in attack speed, an increase in movement speed. It also gives them bonus to attack rating. It's a very effective thing that scales with how many times they attack with Frenzy, so they're going to get more and more damage and more attack speed and more, run and walk speed, the higher that they stack their Frenzy. They also seem to be using the Bash ability or the Stun ability from the Barbarian, from what I can tell, and they seem to be doing a pretty good job of using that Bash ability to their effectiveness. As you can clearly see, the monsters often end up stunned, and just very, very fun little monsters. The Goatman themselves have pretty decent damage. You can beef them up in a myriad of ways, and now let's kind of talk about some of the ways that you can potentially beef up these crazy little Goatmans. So first off, you have access to Demonic Mastery. Demonic Mastery gives them flat attack rating, it gives them attack speed, it also gives them damage and run walk bonus, which is going to make them run around like little crazy little crackheads. And if you do a Goatman build, I think Demonic Mastery is a solid item for pretty much any like actual offensive summon build. On top of that, you also have a very nice defensive passive for them called Blood Oath, which increases the life of the demon, increases the resistances of the demon, and also reduces the physical damage that they take. And on top of that, allows you to share some of your damage with them, which makes you a little tankier in response. We also have Deathmark, as I talked about earlier, which increases the crushing blow that the Goatman gets. But on top of that, it also functions as a way for you to force your demons to attack a specific target, which can definitely be helpful for getting the damage off in the right sequence that you would like. Like, for instance, if there's a specific monster that you would prefer that your Goatman attack over others, you can use the Death Mark to teleport your monsters to that monster and get them to do more damage that way, which is really freaking cool. And they also stack on top of each other, as you can see, as they look like mirrors. Death Mark is going to be a really amazing ability for the Goatman and pretty much any of your summons. On top of this, it also reduces the monster's defense by negative 960 and increases the damage and increases the magic damage by 57 on both sides. So basically, not only does the Death Mark allow you to teleport monsters onto the enemy, but it also gives you a bonus, essentially, for doing so. So you get a offensive bonus for teleporting on top of the monster in that fashion. And as you can see, it's very effective. Now, the Goatmen are basically your starter demons. You can use them from level 1. You can start putting points into the Goatman and into the Demonic Mastery at level 1, and you can start beefing them up. They definitely seem to be very worthwhile to build early on. They might not necessarily be the one that you use late game. There are some other options, but we're going to talk about those later. And there's a lot of different ones, like, for instance, there's the Summon Tainted, there's the Summon Defiler, and then there's also the Bind Demon, which I think is one of the strongest ones of the entire lot. Now, you can also consume one of these Goatmen, and if you consume one of the Goatmen, you can get some pretty interesting effects. So if you have at least level 11, from what I've noticed, you can basically eat the Goatman, and you can get his benefits. The Goatman will give you his crushing blow, whatever the crushing blow he has synergized. So if you only have 1 point in Goatman, it's only going to be 5%. But if you have the full synergy bonus of Death Mark, which is 20 points, you can get the additional 20%, and then it's a 25% crushing blow when you eat him. You can also potentially get the enhanced damage, which is 80% enhanced damage for eating the Goatman. And I don't think when you increase it, it doesn't increase the crushing blow, but it does increase the amount of enhanced damage that you get from consume when you eat them. So you can get more enhanced damage, which is going to, of course, increase your overall damage output by giving you the enhanced damage and also giving you the crushing blow. But do be aware that when you eat the demon, it does count as one of your max demons on your demonic max summary, some demonic mastery. So you can only have 2 demons when you have a consumption bonus activated. So if you do want to have a Goatman as like a tank, and you also want to use consume, you need to have at least 2 on demonic mastery. It gains 1 every 10 levels. So the first point you put in, it has 1. Then when you get to 10, it has 2. And when you get to 20, it gets 3. I don't remember if you can get to 4 with 40. But basically, every 10 levels, it seems to gain 1 additional demon. Overall, the Goatman are just pretty powerful. As a standard unit within your army, I think they're definitely one of the standard units that you're going to enjoy using. You probably are going to want to pair them up with other demons, though. Even if you do end up using 1 demon or 2 demons, you're most likely going to end up using a bind demon for your third, and that'll be another topic for another video. All of the demons do have a different consume buff, and I do have a video on consume going over all the buffs that you can potentially get from them. But this video is specifically about the goat demon. The goat demons are funny too. I'm glad that they picked the goat demons because I love the sound effects that the goat demons make. It's just really cool. It's definitely a very powerful, like smaller quantity of demon than the larger quantity that the necromancer, like with the undead, does. I wonder if they'll add like a bind demon ability or bind undead ability for the necromancer. That would be really cool. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for these guys. They're very basic. They do really good damage. They attack really fast, especially in combination with Demonic Mastery. They have good attack rating, good life. They just tend to be like the powerhouse of the backbone of your army, essentially. And if you properly, beef them up, if you properly support them with Demonic Mastery and Blood Oath, I think you'll find that they're very effective fighters in normal difficulty, Nightmare, or Hell. And that 25% crushing blow is kind of legit, actually. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Anyways, always be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button if you enjoy the content. And keep watching.